in the air, lift your head up high. You know you've got to sing along. Don't you know?
Made it out of disbelief. Candles flying up, no fear, just greed. I done waited weeks on weeks. Feel the bull run coming, bears dodge the stream. Try to get them on my team. Moon boys too busy buying XRP. No face, no KYC. VPN locked in, out of state IP. Patreon made something out of nothing. Ain't got a MetaMask, need to go and quit stunting. C-phrase only code to the fortune. Better play a card, tell them Reddit boys chumping. Black swan, red swan, it's nothing. Setting limit orders, getting out before the flood hit. Retail got me knowing when the fun is. Made a bank run just to get my bags pumping. Real life, not talking dumb money. I bet the game stop when the market starts pumping. I've been here since the rain, since the flooding. FOMO kicking in, heard the habits like something. Low caps got me living like Archie. Fly to Dubai, first class, all flights please. 5x, 10x, unlikely. 100 on my mind, no telling where it might lead. Crypto, it's been on the rise. Couple million off of me, no, it's not that time. Crazy how they still deny. Last time I seen this was 2009. Oh well, it caught you by surprise. Getting out before they sell, all a part of the ride. With my advice, you'll do just fine. Do your own research and a fade when I rhyme.
How is everybody doing? Welcome back to another stream. Markets are pumping right now. Bitcoin's pumping, just made a new all-time high. Altcoins starting to move as well. It's a very, very bullish day. So welcome to the live stream. Smash the likes as you're joining. That would be very appreciated. We're going to get into it all today, guys. So get your comments in, get the likes up. We've got a good show for you today. So BTC 113.6 closing in now on that trend line, which I've been outlining for months. Okay, for many months I've been outlining this trend line and how basically every single time we've come into contact with it, Bitcoin has rejected. Now this could be the first time we actually break out above it. It's very possible that it's the first ever time it happens. But either way, it is going to act, in my opinion, as quite strong resistance, regardless. Even if it is, just a local top, or even if it is, the cycle top, I think it's going to act as resistance. Now, from what I'm seeing in the charts, it still seems like we have more room for growth when it comes to things like the RSIs. When you look at the RSIs, such as the monthly, we've still got a lot of room for growth until we're talking, cycle top. However, people need to realize right now, there's not that much longer left with Bitcoin. There's not a great deal left. Maybe we go to 130K. But the point is, there's not a massive trade left with Bitcoin to the upside, in my opinion. Sure, you can still make some upside, but most of the upside is now behind us this cycle. However, when it comes to the altcoins, they are just playing catch up right now. And it's a very, very weird cycle. We've had a cycle so far where Bitcoin's been leading the way the whole time. Now I believe it's time for altcoins to lead the way. And I think Bitcoin is going to start stalling out quite soon. And it's not going to be pumping as heavily as what it has been so far this cycle. And it's going to pass on that baton over to the altcoins, and the altcoins are going to start drastically outperforming Bitcoin. That's what I think is going to happen. And we're seeing that right now. We're seeing right now SUI up 11.15% today. We're seeing the likes of Tau. I mean, SUI's up even more than that now. Wow, it just keeps pumping. SUI's up 15% today. Tau's up 11% today. Ondo's up 7, Fartcoin 14, Virtual 16. We're seeing some nice pumps across the board with the altcoins. And what people need to realize is it's that last week or two of the bull market. Seriously, the last week or two. of the bull market where altcoins basically make all their gains. It's not the last 6 months. It's not the last 4 months. It's not the last 3 months. It might not even be the last month. Really, it's like a 2-week period of Valhalla, of God candles. A 2-week period of God candles is that final blow off top in a bull market. And altcoins can go down and down and down for a year straight. And then 2 weeks come, 50x, 20x, 10x, left, right, and center. That's what we've seen already in crypto many times. We saw it last cycle in November. If you were around in November 2021, you'll remember we saw blow off tops of virtually all the altcoins in like a 2-week period. Dominance just dropped like a cliff. Like someone falling off a cliff. It just went bang right down to zero, essentially. Bang right down. That's how the dominance went. And altcoins absolutely exploded in a very short given period of time. We saw the same thing in April 2021. Couple of weeks, 20x, 10x, left, right, and center. I believe we're seeing that right now. Whilst there's not a great deal of time left with Bitcoin's bull run, that short window of the finale is the window where you make all the money with altcoins. I really want to stress that because I don't want people to be freaking out. Yes, I'm saying Bitcoin's getting closer and closer to a top. Maybe we go to 130K, maybe 125, something like that. We're getting closer and closer to a top. But it is that last little bit, those last couple of weeks where altcoins make all the crazy gains. So yes, it might look like we're getting closer to the top with Bitcoin. But that's a good thing for the altcoins because that means the altcoins can finally run because Bitcoin's losing its steam. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. I said a long time ago, July would be very bullish. When we were down here crashing the tariff lows, I said, watch out for July. And I don't know if some of you guys remember, but I put on like a forecast of exactly what happened last bull run. The second wave up last bull run. I did a bit of a forecast, like a projection. And I went from the low to the high. I'm doing the wrong thing. Let me do that again. What did I click on? The bar pattern it is, sorry. I went from the low. Is it bar pattern? Yeah, bar pattern. Let me do this again. Don't know what's going on with my screen right here. So what I did, I went to TradingView, went to the projection section, and I'm pretty sure it's bar pattern. Yeah, and then I clicked on basically the low. I went to the high. And I basically stuck that onto where we were during the tariff crash. Hopefully everyone's seeing this. I stuck that onto where we were during the tariff crash. And look, it's got a lot of similarities here, guys. It really has. I mean, it's not played out to the T, but there's a lot of similarities here. And that essentially put us pumping a ton in July. And I mean, that's what's playing out right now. Now, obviously, when you do these types of forecasts, you've got to take them with a grain of salt. History doesn't repeat. It certainly rhymes, but it doesn't repeat. So there's always going to be differences. But we predicted that July would be very bullish. I've been saying it for months. July will be bullish. We also predicted dominance would drop at the 786 fib level. Another point where we've been absolutely spot on and to the T with accuracy. I mean, literally perfect accuracy. 786 fib, 66%. I told everyone this is a major level of resistance. We're now dropping down. But the thing is, dominance has barely even dropped. We're at 64%. I'm predicting a big drawdown on dominance within a very short window. I don't know exactly when that will be. It might not be this week. It might be next week. It might be the beginning of July. I mean, the beginning of August. It might be the end of July. We'll have to wait and see. But I'm predicting some point very soon, we see dominance fall off a cliff, going somewhere between 60 to 52% within a very short period of time. that is where we're going to see these 5x's, 10x's with the altcoins in literally, like I said, a couple of weeks. It doesn't take long at all. So that leads me to the top picks. You can see them on the screen right now. The VIP gem, by the way, is absolutely sending it. It's just broken out when I looked at the chart. It's got a long way to go before it tops out. So I strongly recommend you guys check out that VIP gem. If you're in the Discord, you'll know it. If you're not in the Discord, what are you doing, guys? Get in. It's linked down below. I wanted to let everyone know as well, I'm going to be increasing the price within 24 hours. So by this time tomorrow, the price for my membership options will be higher. If you're a current existing member, you will not be subject to the price hike. The only people who will be subject to the price hike are people who are not members. So what I'm trying to say is if you join now, you're going to save yourself paying an additional cost tomorrow. So check it out if you're interested. The community literally never sleeps. 24/7, I am in these voice chats. I am in these text channels, helping out the members. And we just had a mentor meeting actually today. It was an incredibly insightful mentor meeting. My genius technical analyst, Cryptex, went through an entire PowerPoint delineating all of his different strategies with TA. Highly, highly valuable mentor meeting. That's something you get on the mentor tier. But if you're not on the mentor tier, you still get daily voice chats. They're just not topic-specific meetings like what the mentor meeting is. But I highly recommend people get in right now. There's crazy activity in the group. Everyone's really hyped. People are sharing new opportunities left, right, and center. The DGen chat's really active. The trading channel's really active. And straight after this live stream, I'm going to be going over to the voice chat and I'm going to be talking about the markets in more depth. So if you want a bit more depth, if you want a bit more of a higher level scope on the markets, this is obviously the place to be. And you get my real-time buys and sells. And if you follow my buys and sells on basically all these coins, you'd be in very nice profits right now. Virtuals is absolutely exploding. I gave the call for that one at 54 cents. We're almost up 4x in just a couple of months on virtuals. Casper starting to pump a little bit. My average on Casper is around 4 cents, so I'm up 2x on that. Ondo pumping. I've been telling you guys about Ondo lately. Tau, I was buying Tau below $200. 190 region to 220. I was buying very heavily. And you guys know Sui. We were stacking Sui well below $1. And we're up over 3x on our money right now on Sui. 3.4x to be specific. So overall, we are absolutely killing it. And like I said, this is kind of just the beginning when it comes to the altcoin pump. If this is the rally, and I want to make it clear, it's not a guarantee. But if this is the rally to kickstart alt season, it's going to be insane. Now, we are seeing high stochastic RSIs on Ethereum, so I do expect at some point a bit of a drawdown, I've got to be honest. However, we have just pushed past resistance. It all comes down to the weekly close, guys. That's what it all comes down to. If Ethereum closes the week where it is right now, it's an incredibly bullish weekly close. If Bitcoin closes the week where it is right now, it's an incredibly bullish weekly close. However, if we have a dump towards the end of the week, it could obviously signify more of a sustained correction because the oscillators are getting pretty overbought. We have got big resistance upcoming on Bitcoin, this trend line that I've been talking about for a very long period of time. And it just makes sense that eventually we will have a bit of a correction since we've just had 3 consecutive massive green candles. But yeah, I mean, like I said, guys, on the last stream, the level we need to close above on the week is 109.5K. We're well in the clear of that right now. We're at 113.5. We're well above 109.5K. So if we close the week anywhere near where we are right now, that is an incredibly bullish weekly close. And I don't think people understand the magnitude of how bullish that would be if we were to close exactly where we are today. You can see on the chart I've got on the screen right now how many times BTC has corrected around 110.5K. Numerous rejections followed by corrections. We've now broken above it. We just need to not have a scam wick. That's all it is. I've seen crazy things before in crypto. I've seen us just drop back down and it ends up being a massive fake out. I don't think that will happen. I think we will close the week above 110.5, but I'm just letting you know, I'm personally not making any major decisions until I monitor the weekly close. Once I see the weekly close, and if it is above 110.5, I'm going to be going risk on. I already have most of my wealth in crypto. A huge swath of my wealth is already in crypto, but I'm going to be adding a little bit more, and I'm going to be adding it to purely degen plays, because it's the last couple of weeks, last few weeks of the bull run where you make all those gains on the degen plays. The memes, the AI agents, those types of projects. It's that last window of opportunity where you get those stupid X's in very short periods of time. So that's kind of what I'm watching, is the weekly close. And if we get a good weekly close on Bitcoin and Ethereum, let's just take a look at Ethereum. Ethereum needs to close above this green box, ideally above 2.8K. If ETH closes above 2.8, if Bitcoin closes above 109.5, or sorry, 110.5, then I'm going to be going risk on, and you'll be seeing more buy alerts. You'll be seeing degen buy alerts. I'm not going to be going really heavy into these. These will be coins where I'm putting in kind of small amounts of money, but I'll be doing buy alerts, and there'll be risky coins. There'll be risk on coins that can potentially explode in the short term. So hit the likes on the stream. I'm going to get into the comments now. Appreciate you all being here today. Hopefully everyone's portfolios are printing as much as mine. Hopefully even more. I wish everyone all the best this bull run. And we're making some good money. So hit the likes. Make sure you're following me on X as well. Crypto Archie YT. I'm posting daily updates on X. And a couple of free things as well, completely free of charge. Make sure you're in my free Telegram group, link down below, and make sure you book a free call with my closest representative, with my right-hand man in my Discord group. Book a call with him, discuss your portfolio. You're going to feel much more assurance, right? You'll feel much more reassured. And you'll have a better feeling of where the bull run's going to go and where your portfolio is going to go. Ben Shaw, thanks for the $5 super chat. 2017, 2021, in summer were red and December green. That's not true. That's not true. So you're wrong. 2021. We topped out in November. Let me get the chart up. Come on, load. BTC performance by month. Yeah, that's not true. Is that 2020? Yeah, let me just check. 2021. 2021, December was down 18.9% on Bitcoin. Am I looking at this right? Yeah. 2021 was bearish in December. We topped out in November in 2021. So I don't know where you're getting that information from. So I don't even know how to. I appreciate your donation, but I don't even know how to respond to your question, because the statement you made is incorrect. this bull run, we've been in green so far this summer. May, June, and July have been pretty decent months for crypto. So far this summer we've been in green. Now, just because it happened in previous years, I don't care. I don't account for that. But yeah, December was not green in 2021. December was very red. I remember it because I was out of crypto. I sold. James P. Archie, you made me so much money and changed my life. I'm a lifetime mentor member. Wow, thank you, man. Appreciate you being a mentor member. Hopefully you're in that mentor meeting today. It was very insightful by Cryptex. We're so lucky to have Cryptex in the group. He's an absolute genius when it comes to the technical analysis. And he did an entire demonstration on how he charts coins. And it's going to be recorded as well. So even if you missed it, you're still going to be able to watch it back. A live TA class. I mean, you really can't beat that type of value. So I'm glad you're a member on the mentor tier, man. Shout out to you. And also, you called a July to August top. Do you still stand by that as this pump makes it more and more closer? Yeah. I stand by that. I still think we top out, most likely in July or August. September is a possibility, but I think there's a higher chance that we top out in July or August, personally. Yeah. I stand by that. I stand by my predictions. I'm not changing. Yeah, what a lot of people do, they completely change their targets once we pump. I'm not doing that. I'm standing by my targets. So, like, I'm sure all the guys who are saying 150K Bitcoin are now saying 200 now, right? And all the guys saying 130, 120, kind of like what I've been saying, I'm sure they're all going to up their targets as well. But I'm personally not upping my targets. I think we will correct at some point. But yeah, what I'm saying is that window where dominance drops is where all the money's made. And quite often it's a couple of weeks. It's not months. Alt season doesn't last months. You know, you'll hear these YouTubers talk about banana zone up only for a year. It's very deceiving. Alt season does not last many, many months. It lasts literally a couple of weeks. Few weeks, maybe. That's all it takes. That's all it takes for a massive pump. Finally made a live stream. Shout out to you. Yeah, please do hit the likes on the stream, guys. A big shout out to Brembox. I had a call with him yesterday and it was amazing. Wow. Yeah, great shout out to Bren. We need to give Bren a round of applause. He's an absolute major help to the group. And he's a very smart guy as well. Very talented. So, yeah, well done for having a call with Bren. If you want to book a call with him, you can book one down below. You can pay for a 45-minute call with him. Or you can go on a free 10-minute call, right? But you get a lot more if you pay for one than if you get the free one. But the free one's still good. Obviously, it's free. I mean, why wouldn't you do it? Hi, Archie, a newbie here. Appreciate the link and subsequent call with Bren. Even at 15 minutes, it was very informative. Portfolio looking healthier almost immediately. Wow, another great bit of feedback for the one-to-one call with Bren. Great stuff. I'm glad people are enjoying those one-to-one calls that you can get absolutely free of charge by booking a call down below. Or if you want longer, you can pay for it. Will it be a sustained rally? We'll have to wait and see, but we are getting pretty overheated. But the markets can remain overheated for a long period of time. Markets can remain irrational longer than you can remain solvent. 150 at least this cycle. Wow. We got some bulls in the chat. Yeah, Bitcoin's looking bullish. Get those likes up. Why is Say not pumping harder? Because it pumped a bit earlier. Now it's just consolidating. It will probably continue pumping in a week or so. I mean, it's certainly pumping. It's looking good. It's starting its next move up. The stochastics are really low on Say as well. Say's a great buy right now. I mean, ideally, you would have bought it down here when I dropped the buy alert. You'd be up almost 2x right now if you bought it based off the VIP buy alert, but still not a bad time to buy some. Yeah, great call, Pygos, on Move. I mentioned that actually in the Discord call last night. I took a look at the chart after the stream. It looked good. So nice call. And you think SXT could have also found a bottom. Let's take a look at SXT. But yeah, glad you got that call spot on. I mean, this one's got very high stochastics on the daily, but it definitely looks like it's found a bottom. What do I think of Sonic? I like it, but I much prefer Sui and Say because they're newer coins. Sonic's an old coin that's just changed their name and rebranded. Thinking of putting some money on memes soon. Yeah, same. I've already got a few memes, but I'm thinking of doubling down on the meme coins potentially once I see the weekly close. I'll be dropping those new meme coin buy alerts in the Discord chat. You'll be notified in the VIP. I actually wanted to take a look at Chill Guy because we gave a call for that recently. Wow. Chill Guy's exploding, man. Whew. That call is looking like a genius call now. Down in the depths of the 50s or whatever it was. Yeah, Chill Guy's pumping crazy. Up 20% on the day today. Absolutely printing. Printing. Yeah, I like Ponky and Brett. They're both solid. Love your work. Thank you. Thank you, Wizzo. What do you look for in a team that makes them good and attracts you to the project? PS, hit the likes. Archie gives great content. Thank you. What do I look for in a crypto team? I look for, obviously, a good education. So ideally from a good college, Harvard, MIT, somewhere like that. I look for good experience in crypto. So, for example, Jonathan Sompolinsky, he went to Harvard or he lectured at Harvard. And he has worked on things with Bitcoin. So he's a good example of a good team member. Sui has a great team. It's good if I give you real-world examples. Sui's team were high up at Facebook, high up at Meta. They then made their own crypto project, and that's what Sui is, right? So I look for experience. I like to see them work at big companies. I don't just want to see a bunch of nobodies, a bunch of basement dwellers make a coin. Because not only do they lack the expertise and the connections, but quite often they're also broke. And that's the problem with a lot of cryptos. They're ran by broke teams. They don't get the listings. They don't have the connections. They don't have the marketing. And they just end up basically going to zero because the people don't pull their finger out of their pocket. Yeah, Hyperliquid's looking strong right now. I don't know if that coin... M8. Why is Say not pumping? I mean, it is pumping. It's just not fully woken up just yet. Money isn't actually flowing into the alts that hard right now. People need to realize. Bitcoin dominance is exactly neutral on the day. That means that there's no bias towards altcoins or Bitcoin right now. Money is just flowing into altcoins and Bitcoin basically at the same rate. So there's no bias to either side. It's not alt season. It's not Bitcoin season. It's just neutral season right now. Love the voice call this morning. Bundle member here. Thanks, Archie and Cryptex. Yeah, that mentor meeting was absolutely superb, man. It couldn't have been better. What an amazing meeting. I think people learned so much from that PowerPoint and some of the examples we did. basically was a full-on technical analysis workshop from bottom to top. Full-on comprehensive TA course, essentially, on a call. Yeah, SAY's up basically 7%. People are complaining. Crazy. Yeah, SAY will pump hard once money starts to flow into Bitcoin and alts. Yeah, great to see you in the stream as well, Cryptex. If you guys don't know who Cryptex is, he is the technical analyst that basically is the backbone of the Discord group. He runs all the TA stuff in the group. He helps out a ton with the server. And he's an absolute genius when it comes to the TA. So it's great to see you in the stream, Cryptex. I'm a lifetime of the Discord. How much is the portfolio call? I just joined the show. Well, thank you for being a lifetime member. If you want to get a portfolio review on a call with me, you have to join the bundle. We can do you a discount if you're a lifetime VIP member. We can subtract that and work out the difference. But that's the only way to get on a call with myself is the bundle. I have a very tight schedule and I work already 16 hours a day. I'd love to be doing calls with people all day, but unfortunately, I just don't have the time to do that. So I have to delegate those calls to other people. But there is a price. There is a price I'm willing to take, and that's the bundle price. But people have offered me $2,000 for a 30-minute call, and I've turned it down. I just didn't have the time. So, you know, it's partly because of time, partly because of demand as well. If I offered calls for $500, I'd be booked up all day, every day. I just wouldn't have the time to do them. So that's just the way it is, unfortunately. The only way of getting on a call is by getting on the bundle. If you want to talk to me, if you want to talk to one of my representatives, you can book a call down below. Yeah, gaming season's not here yet. That's why Mavi is still kind of lagging behind. Do I expect a correction before we see the cycle top? Great question, man. It's really hard to tell right now. I expect a correction just because of how we're looking chart-wise. But I think we're going for 115 first, to be honest, before we get that correction. 115, 116, then we get a correction. Now, I want to make it really clear. Just because we hit resistance doesn't mean that is the cycle top. We could go up to 115, 116, then come back down, and then go up again. And in that period, alts continue pumping while Bitcoin goes down. We've seen that before in bull runs. Bitcoin kind of loses a bit of its strength, not too much, because if it loses too much strength, then it's very weak for altcoins. But if Bitcoin loses a little bit of strength, comes down a little bit, altcoins could still be pumping during that period of time. So if I had to give you kind of a prediction, and obviously this is very, very speculative, like we honestly don't know what will happen here. I think we come up to 116, then we probably come back down to like 110 or something like that, and then we go up for like 125 or something like that. That's what I think. Maybe 125 late August around, because we're going to front run the rate cut. That's what we're going to do. We're going to pump into the rate cut. Like everyone thinks, oh, we're not going to pump until the rate cuts. I mean, everyone who said that's been proven wrong already. I mean, what a daft argument. We're not going to pump until we get a rate cut. I've been saying on this channel publicly for a long period of time, we don't need a rate cut to pump. We just need sentiment to improve. Also, you pump into the rate cut because the market isn't stupid. Markets price things in advance. They're forward-looking. Investors aren't idiots. They don't just wait for the rate cut and then buy. They buy in anticipation of it quite often. Ever heard the saying, buy the rumor, sell the news? Markets quite often, they pump into something, into an event. So that's what we're doing right now. We're pricing in a rate cut. We're pricing in de-escalation in terms of tariffs. That's a different topic of discussion because right now we are seeing certain countries get additional tariffs, such as Brazil. But overall, the tariff situation seems to have calmed down in terms of its impact on markets. But we're pricing in good sentiment. We're pricing in a rate cut. So I think there's a chance we honestly just top out anywhere between July to September. A lot of people are saying November, December. A lot of people are also saying 2026. I'm not in that camp. I'm more in the left-leaning camp, as in we're going to top out Q3. I've always said Q3 for a long time now. Since Q1 ended up being bearish, I changed my whole thesis to Q3. Initially, I believed Q1 would be bullish. We all did, right? Everyone thought going into 2025, we were going to pump. Trump's the new president. We all thought we were going to pump. Tariffs came out. They shocked the system. As I saw that news, I changed my position and I said Q3 will be the top. And I stand by that. I stand by that. We've still got a long way to go of Q3. When does Q4 officially start? October 1st, right? I just didn't want to calculate it in my head. So July, August, September, 3 months every quarter, obviously, 12 months in a year. We've got July, August, and September. In my opinion, at some point in these next 3 months, we're going to see an alt season and we're going to top out. That's my prediction. Could it be this week? It's probably more unlikely. Could it be in the next 3 to 5 weeks? I think it's certainly possible, depending on how much we pump here, but we're looking very strong. I respect your perspective, but top is in Q4. Let's see. There's potentially going to be weakening economic data coming into Q4. That's something to bear in mind. The other thing to realize is the Amazon Prime sales are an absolute disaster. So retail right now aren't doing great. That's what people need to realize. The reason markets are going up so much is institutional liquidity. This is driven by institutions. This is not driven by retail too much. The reasons markets have been pumping so much is because institutions are buying. The retail interest for crypto is still pretty low. Why is that? It's because retail are skint. They haven't got much money. Retail are broke. Because there's no QE. Prices have been going up for a long period of time now. They just can't afford the cost of living. And we saw that with the Amazon Prime sales. Amazon Prime Day. Amazon Prime Day sales, I believe, were down 40%, was it? Compared to last year. So it was disastrous. What does that show? That shows that retail are not spending. Their pockets are pretty empty. And I think that's only going to get worse because QE isn't coming anytime soon. The reason we had such a crazy alt season last bull run was because there was crazy money given to retail. The printers were on. We had QE. And there are all sorts of government schemes of just giving people checks. Furlough we had in the UK. Stimulus. There was all that stuff, right? So there's a whole different ball game now. This is an institutional cycle. This is not a retail cycle. Yes, there's retail in this bull run, of course, but the scale at which retail have a pricing impact compared to last cycle is diminishing. More than ever, this is an institutionally driven cycle. I sold my Hello Labs up a few X like a year ago, bro. Ages ago. Over a year ago. I can't even remember. I'm not bullish on that anymore. I sold all my gaming coins, or most of them, a good long time ago. Up pretty good X's across the board. Smash up them likes. How's it going, Bren? Yeah, we're going to be having a big voice chat after this stream, so make sure you guys are in the Discord ready for the voice chat. One day that Bitcoin resistance will get broken. I agree. One day it will. 100%. It could even be very soon. But I just don't think it's on this run. I think we correct after we hit it. The pump means nothing unless we close above 112 on the daily. I guess I'm more looking at 110.5. A close above 110.5 on the weekly is confirmation to me that markets are going risk on and we're going to be pumping further. But man, we are printing right now in the VIP. Chill Guy, absolute genius call by Bren and myself. We both bought in. What else, man? What else? Sui's pumping a lot today as well. What happened to all those guys saying Sui's lagging now? It's over. Sui's done. Move on to the next one. Man. Sui's killing it. That's what Sui's doing. Up 14% on the day for Sui. Congratulations to every single VIP member who was stacking Sui at 70 cents when I was. Congratulations. You are being rewarded in real time. And it's still got a long way to go. So what's up the most today? Let's take a look. Pudgy Penguins. Sui. Wow. Sui's the second biggest gainer. Second biggest gainer in the top 100. Sui. Third biggest gainer in the top 100. Virtuals. Another one of my calls. Fifth biggest gainer. Altcoin. One of my number one memes. Tau is pumping a lot today as well. Up 10%. Say up 9%. Who said Say wasn't pumping? It's up 9% today. That's not a pump. Absolutely killing it, man. You can't even blink sometimes. You're printing so much money, you don't even want to blink. Crazy stuff, man. And the fear and greed sat at neutral. That's the funniest part of all of this. Alt season index 27, pointing towards a Bitcoin season. You sold your Sui yesterday. Why? Why would you sell your Sui yesterday? When I say Q3 top, I believe the top for Bitcoin and altcoins will be in Q3. That's what I believe. But it's just a belief, okay? You do you. If you think we're going to top in 2026, then have your own strategy. But I think we're going to top in Q3. We talk about these things every day on the voice chats in the Discord, man. All the time. You know, people think Bitcoin tops and then months later altcoins top. That's just not true. Bitcoin tops and altcoin tops around the same time. They all top out around the same time. Look at last bull run. Bitcoin topped out 10th of November. When did ETH top out? 13th of November. So 2 days after, 3 days after. When did Solana top out? 6th of November. Solana topped out 4 days before Bitcoin. So where's this theory exactly of Bitcoin tops out, then, 4 months later, altcoins top out? There's no evidence for that. Bitcoin and altcoins top out around the same time. Even take a look at some of the gaming coins, for example, Gala. Gala Games, when did that top out? 26th of November. So it topped out, a couple of weeks after Bitcoin, but nothing crazy, not a couple of months after, a couple of weeks after. So Bitcoin and altcoins usually top out within a couple weeks. Some will top out after Bitcoin, some will top out just before Bitcoin. But this idea that Bitcoin tops out and then 3 or 4 months later the altcoins top out, there's no basis for that. There's no evidence at all for that. Bull run will continue in 2026. Will not top out without retail interest at all-time high. What are you talking about? Well, what are you talking about, man? What are you talking about? Casper is alive. Casper is alive and well. I mean, it's up 1% today. It's nothing crazy. I've got a very small percentage in Casper now. After all the lackluster price action and everything, I've drastically reduced my allocation. I'm still bullish on it, but I no longer hold anywhere near as much as what I used to. Chill Guy and Sui printing, 100%. Some of these VIP plays are exploding right now. Does the fear and greed get refreshed every 24 hours? I think so. Right now we're at 58. I think it refreshes every day. So 1 a.m. I think it comes in. Pump token FDV 4 billion. That's crazy. I wouldn't be buying that. 4 billion for pump fund token. That's insane. Hiya, Archie. Top man as usual. Thank you. I went in on Chill Guy and Moondeng, both smashing it up. Boom. What do you think about React? Very low market cap. Looks like the next one to fly. React. Reactive network, is it? 8.6 mil. Crypto.com listing. Pretty good. Let's take a look at the website. Parallelized interoperability execution layer for EVM ecosystems. Okay. A lot of interoperability projects have kind of lagged behind this cycle so far. They haven't done anything crazy. Like, I've had high hopes for a lot of them, but they just haven't performed yet. But this one looks like it could be a worthy little gamble. I have to take a look at the chart and stuff. If you're a VIP, make sure you join us on the next meeting that we're going to do, the next voice chat. We're going to be doing that in literally a few minutes once I finish the stream. So if you're a VIP, we can discuss it over there, but it looks decent. I don't think this is a retail-driven cycle. Like, there was a guy before just attacking me in the chat, verbally attacking me, obviously, saying, I don't know what I'm on about, all these slurs and stuff. I just block the guy because he hasn't got a clue. But there's a bunch of slurs and stuff in the chat from this guy, and he was basically saying that, you know, you need retail. Like, I don't think that's necessarily the case. You don't need retail. Crypto is becoming more and more institutionally driven. Just like the tech stocks in the stock market don't really need retail, I don't think crypto necessarily needs retail. Sure, it helps, but if you look at the stock market, it's largely institution versus institution. It's largely institutionally driven. The people buying Nvidia, yes, there's some retail, but it's not necessarily retail that's pushing Nvidia up to a 4 trillion market cap. It's institutions that are pushing Nvidia up to a 4 trillion market cap. And it's going to be institutions that push Ethereum up to 5 or 6K and Bitcoin up even further. Retail will have some form of an impact, but this is an institution-based cycle. Guys, I'm going to wrap up the stream here. I've got a meeting to attend with the VIPs. So if you are a VIP member, get yourself in that voice chat because I'm going to be in there very shortly, very soon. I don't know if very shortly even makes sense. Very soon I'm going to be in there. It's been a long day, guys. Multiple meetings, a lot of charting. It's been a long day. But I am still very energetic and I'm ready for a good discussion in the VIP. So get yourselves over there. I'm going to be joining up in the next 5 or 10 minutes and we'll discuss what's going on in the markets. A lot of people talking in the VIP right now. Very, very active. So I'll be over there. Appreciate you all watching. Smash a like if you enjoyed. And I'll see you over in the VIP. Remember, prices are going up within 24 hours. That's only going to affect the new members. It's not going to impact existing members. So if you join now, you'll save yourself paying a higher price later.